Chapter 716. After going upstairs, Lu Tingxiao and Xiaobao went to change clothes. Ningxi couldn't wait to turn on the computer to see the follow-up development of Hu Hongda's matter. Hu Hongda's latest Weibo post was from 3 hours ago, which was not long after she and Lu Tingxiao left the restaurant. The content was to inform the reporters to hold a press conference in a hotel. The efficiency was really high. He was probably scared witless by the Great Demon King. At present, there was already a live video of the press conference on the internet, and it had become a hot topic. Ningxi hurriedly clicked on it. Reporter. Boss Hu, is what you said on Weibo true? Hu Hongda. It's true. Reporter. Then why did you post on Weibo to clarify the truth? Hu Hongda. Because I suddenly don't want to lie to my wife anymore, and I don't want to involve innocent people anymore. This time, I am sincerely repentant to my wife and apologize to everyone. Hu Hongda naturally didn't have the guts to say that Lu Tingxiao threatened him, so he pretended to find a dignified reason for himself. Unfortunately, the public would not forgive him so easily this time. This Weibo post was reposted over 10,000 times, and it continued to rise. The comment section was also completely blown up. Fuck me. What was going on? Wasn't the third party Ningxi? How did it become Fangya? Hu Hongda deliberately slandered Ningxi in order to protect Fangya? You city people really know how to have fun. I'm dumbfounded. The plot changes too quickly. I can't keep up with the pace. What the fuck? Ningxi was too pitiful. Wasn't this the same as getting shot while lying down? And he had been scolded for so long for nothing. Just an apology and it's over? Are you kidding me? What do you mean he suddenly doesn't want to deceive his wife anymore, and doesn't want to implicate innocent people? I think he was found out and had no choice but to come out to clarify himself and put on a show. This man is too despicable. Goddess Fangfang, please don't be soft-hearted and forgive me this time. In fact, I shouldn't have forgiven you last time. I think Fangya is the most despicable one. She must have come up with this wicked idea. It was said that she didn't get along with Ningxi when she was on the set. This is too vicious. I suddenly realized that Ningxi is so pitiful. Isn't it just because she's a little beautiful? I'm always labeled as a vixen. Ningxi smiled bitterly as she watched. Was it a blessing in disguise for her? What if someone wanted to smear such dirty water on her in the future? Then the fans wouldn't believe it so easily, right? Meanwhile, right below Ningxi, in Ning Xueluo's apartment. Xueluo, save me, please save me, ah. Fang Yaju only had this sentence left. Ning Xueluo's computer was playing the video of Hu Hongda's press conference. Her face twitched, and she almost lost control of herself. How could this be? Impossible. Ningxi was definitely going to die this time. Why did things turn out this way? Xiaoye, what did you do? Why would Hu Hongda do such a thing? That doesn't make sense. Ning Xueluo said agitatedly. I don't know. I really don't know. I followed the method you taught me from the beginning to the end. I sent a text to Ming Fangfang, and then waited for the news at home. I thought they were going to get a divorce, but I didn't expect him to post that Weibo and expose me. After that, Lin Jiji also directly exposed the matter between me and him on the internet. I called him, but I couldn't get through until now. Chapter 717. Ning Xueluo's face darkened and she said, something must have happened when Ningxi asked him to meet her. Could it be that Ningxi seduced him and made him do this? Ning Xueluo said impatiently. Do you know how big the impact of this is? And it was a public press conference. Hu Hongda has been disgraced. No matter how capable Ningxi is, she wouldn't make Hu Hongda do this. What else could it be? Fangya said helplessly. Could it be that Ming Fangfang found out the truth and forced him to do this? Ning Xueluo thought. Although this reason was also far-fetched, she couldn't think of any other reason. Then what should I do now? Xueluo, you can't leave me alone. I'm completely screwed now. A trace of disgust flashed across Ning Xueluo's eyes. She just wanted to get rid of Fangya, but she was afraid that Fangya would bite her. So she said, you've been forced to this point. Since you can't contact him, just go to his house and make a scene. Even if he doesn't care about you, his parents won't care about you. Yes. Why didn't I think of that? Even if I lose everything, I still have the baby in my belly. His mother wants to have a grandson so much. Fangya's eyes were suddenly filled with hope. In the evening, at the entrance of the Hu mansion. Young madam, you can't go. Fang, what are you doing? Let's talk about this. What's wrong with you? Honey, don't go. I beg you. Please forgive me this time. I'll do anything you want me to do. Ming Fangfang looked gloomily at her husband, who used to love her deeply, and her mother-in-law, who had always treated her as her own mother. Mom, I'm not making a fuss. I'm really tired. I'm sorry. I've decided to divorce. Fangfang, do you want me to kneel before you to change your mind? Mrs. Hu said, and was about to kneel before her. Ming Fangfang hurried to help her up. Mom, don't do this. I can't accept it. Mrs. Hu slapped Hu Hongda's face. Bastard, kneel before Fangfang. Hu Hongda knelt on the ground without hesitation. Honey, if you don't forgive me, I will kneel for the rest of my life. Honey, I really know I was wrong. I can't live without you. Fangfang, please give Hongdao a chance. If he dares to do it again in the future, I will be the first to not let him off. Even though he knew in the depths of his heart that they wanted him to stay because the company was in a critical situation and urgently needed the Ming family's help, after all, they had been husband and wife for so many years. In the end, his heart could not bear to part. At this moment, Ming Fangfang's eyes flashed with a hint of struggle. Mom, perhaps after going through this disaster, he would really change? After all, he was the man she had loved for so many years. At this time, a woman's voice came from behind. Hongda. Ming Fangfang turned around and her face turned pale. Fangya, seeing that Ming Fangfang was about to change her mind, Fangya suddenly ran over. Hu Hongda wanted to strangle her. He ran over angrily and raised his hand. Who allowed you to come here? Fangya was not afraid at all. Instead, she moved forward and said, Fight. Hit me then. Kill him along with the child in my womb. Anyway, I've been cornered by you and I don't want to live anymore. But my poor child was abandoned before he was born. Abandoned by his own father. Chapter 7:18. Hu Hongda looked at Fangya's slightly protruding belly, and his expression changed for a moment. At this time, Madame Hu, who was behind them, rushed forward and protected Fangya. She said nervously, You can't do that. Is this the woman outside? Hu Hongda's face was pale, and he nodded with a muffled hum. Mrs. Hu stared at Fangya's belly and reached out to touch it. Oh, the belly is pointed. It must be a boy. Fangya looked proud. Auntie, you have good eyesight. I have checked in the private hospital, and the doctor said it is a boy. Take a look at this medical report from the hospital. A boy is good. A boy is good. Mrs. Hu took the report and looked at it again and again. Her face was red. How many months has it been? It seems to be more than 4 months. Hu Hongda said. What do you mean? Yes. Don't you know what you have done? Fangya said angrily. Ming Fangfang, who was completely ignored, looked at the 3 people in front of her quietly. At this moment, there was no expression on her face. Mrs. Hu finally remembered that Ming Fangfang was still there. She hurried to greet her and said, Fangfang, don't worry. You are my only daughter-in-law. I will never let this woman marry into our family. Fangya was about to make a scene when she heard this, but she restrained herself. The old lady's attitude was very clear just now. She didn't believe that she could bear this child. Sure enough, then Mrs. Hu changed her tone. But the child in her belly is Hongda's flesh and blood. There are 3 ways to be unfilial, and the worst is to have no descendants. You have been married for so many years, but you have not given birth to a son or daughter for Hongda. I really have no choice. How can I explain to Hongda's father and ancestors in the underworld after I die? So how about this? He had to give birth to this child. After it is born, I will bring it to you. As for this woman, we will give her a sum of money. She has done a meritorious service for giving birth to a son for the Hu family. Ming Fangfang's knuckles turned white while holding the suitcase. Oh, let her raise the child of this mistress? This mistress had done a meritorious service for giving birth to a son for the Hu family? Fangya rolled her eyes. Give her money? It would be best if they could marry into the family, but in this situation, the Hu family had to rely on the Ming family, so a divorce was basically impossible. If they could get a large sum of money, that was fine too. However, it was said that the Hu family was about to go bankrupt. Could they afford it? It's fine. Ming Fangfang has money anyway. She had given birth to a son for nothing. Moreover, Ming Fangfang couldn't give birth to a child. In the future, the Hu family's assets would all belong to her son. Ming Fangfang calmly raised her head and looked at Hu Hongda. Hongda, what do you think? Seeing Ming Fangfang's calm expression, Hu Hongda thought that she might have accepted it. He said hesitantly, I agree with Mom. Didn't you mention that you wanted to find a surrogate? How great was it now? It saved him a lot of trouble. I can't bear to see you suffer from childbirth, my wife. Fangya took the opportunity to say with an aggrieved face, although I don't want to leave the baby in Hongda, I don't want to put Hongda in a difficult position. I will leave after giving birth to the baby. Hearing this, Ming Fangfang nodded and said, very good. Hu Hongda, Madam Hu, and Fangya were all delighted to hear this. Fangfang, you agree? In the next second, a white car drove to the entrance of the Hu family's house. A chauffeur-like person opened the door and hurriedly walked out to take the luggage from Ming Fangfang's hands. Miss. Ming Fangfang handed the luggage to him, then opened the door and got into the car without looking back. Hu Hongda was dumbfounded. Wife, what are you doing? Ming Fangfang's gaze swept over him and Fangya quietly. You don't have to be so aggrieved and give in to me. I will fulfill your wish. Laozhang Drive. Yes, miss. Chapter 719. Ningxi called Lin Jiji while watching the public opinion on the internet. She had been in a hurry to go to school, so she just sent a text message to Lin Jiji, telling her that the matter had been settled and she could publish what she had found. Hello, Sister Jiji. Ningxi, are you done? Did you see the video of the press conference? I saw it. This matter should be completely settled now, right? Do you have any other questions? Yes, don't worry. Lin Jiji said hesitantly. Ningxi Yu. She obviously wanted to ask how Ningxi had made Hu Hongda clarify it in person. Sister Jiji, don't worry. I didn't use any illegal methods, nor did I do anything against my principles. Lu Jingli was the one who settled it. As for how he negotiated with the other party, I'm not too sure. Ningxi decisively pushed the blame onto Lu Jingli. This guy was quite useful at times like this. Hearing Ningxi's answer, Lin Jiji guessed that she might have asked Lu Jingli for help, but she still had some doubts. After all, such a big scandal had a great impact on Hu Hongda. Even Lu Jingli couldn't make him do this. This time, Hu Hongda was completely humiliated. Not only that, but the company's stock also plummeted. During the press conference, Hu Hongda's attitude was a bit strange. He tried to clarify that it had nothing to do with Ningxi and kept apologizing to her in front of the camera. She didn't know how Lu Jingli did it. Thinking of this, Lin Jiji's secret worry came to her mind again. Even if Ningxi and Lu Jingli had a good relationship in private, would they be too close? Lu Jingli had poached many people in person before, but he had never been so attentive to anyone. If the two of them developed into that kind of relationship. Ningxi was talking to Lin Jiji when she suddenly felt her whole body hanging in the air. She was startled. Ningxi, what's wrong? Lin Jiji asked hurriedly. Ningxi glared at Lu Tingxiao, who suddenly picked her up and hurriedly replied to Lin Jiji. I'm fine, I almost dropped the cup. That's good. I have to go. We'll talk about other things in detail when you come to the company. Okay. Bye, Sister Jiji. Ningxi hurriedly hung up. Lu Tingxiao, what are you doing? Lu Tingxiao didn't say anything. He carried her and walked straight to the bed. Ningxi looked up at Lu Tingxiao and blinked quickly. Big Bad Wolf, are you going to eat Little Red Riding Hood? Lu Tingxiao glanced at her and placed her on the bed. Then he lifted her skirt. Ningxi's heart skipped a beat and she subconsciously shrank back. Damn. Lu Tingxiao, are you serious? Cough, this isn't too good, right? Xiaobao is still here. Lu Tingxiao looked at the extremely cute girl in the puffy skirt and red cloak, and his eyes darkened. Is it okay if little treasure isn't here? Ningxi. She had fallen into her own trap. Lu Tingxiao continued to push the skirt up and Ningxi panicked. Before she could stop him, Lu Tingxiao had directly lifted the hem of her skirt. Then she saw that the wound on Ningxi's thigh was bleeding from the gauze. Ningxi covered her face and wailed, "I'm dead meat." Chapter 720. Damn it. How did this guy find out? When she kicked him earlier, she clearly used one leg to kick him, okay? Could it be that he had X-ray vision? She made a mistake. If he had known this would happen, he would have treated his wound as soon as he came back. In the end, he left behind such obvious evidence of his crime. Why is the wound bleeding? I didn't find it. I was so careful today and didn't move around. You only used one foot to beat people. Was it because you accidentally slipped in the snow before? Ningxi decided to play dumb until the end. But when she saw Lu Tingxiao's expression, she knew that he must have known it. So she decisively gave up struggling. I was wrong. Lu Tingxiao looked at the bright red gauze and frowned. Where's the first aid kit? He asked. Ningxi didn't dare to breathe and said, in the cupboard. Lu Tingxiao got up and took the medicine box from the cupboard. He carefully tore open the gauze, and sure enough, the wound burst open. Although she kicked with one foot, it didn't mean that the other foot didn't bear the force. On the contrary, the stronger the strength of the one foot, the tighter the muscles of the other foot had to be in order to stabilize the lower body. In this case, the wound was likely to be torn. Lu Tingxiao saw that she was still alive after kicking, so he thought she was fine. Besides, he couldn't lift her skirt to check, so he had to wait until she got home. However, the sudden check. As he expected, the wound still burst open. At this moment, Ningxi pressed the bottom of her skirt to avoid being exposed. She was wearing a pair of half-length white socks that reached above her knees. There was also a beautiful lace edge to the socks. With the contrast of her snow-white skin and the bright red blood, this scene was indescribably seductive. Ouch! When the medicine touched the wound, Ningxi shivered in pain, but she didn't dare to make a sound. How could she dare to make a sound? Although Lu Tingxiao didn't speak, his movements were obviously lighter. His fingers accidentally touched her skin, and her back looked a little stiff. Lu Tingxiao breathed a sigh of relief after he finished applying the medicine. He prepared to wrap the gauze. Lift your leg a little. Oh. Ningxi obediently bent her knees and lifted her thighs. Lu Tingxiao meticulously wrapped the gauze in circles. His face was as cold as frost from beginning to end. Ningxi was a little flustered and weakly pointed at her fingers. Boss, what are you thinking about? Don't be so quiet. Lu Tingxiao tidied up the medical box while glancing at her, and said without any expression, I'm thinking of breaking your other leg as well. Perhaps it'll be faster for you to recover. She couldn't run anymore. She should stop now, right? That way, he wouldn't have to jump around with only one leg. Ningxi was dumbfounded and said with a sad face, I don't think your idea is very good. It's too cruel. No wonder it was the great Demon King's idea. At this moment, Xiaobao, who had finished treating his wounds and changed his clothes, ran over. Ningxi immediately hugged Xiaobao and complained, Steamed bun. I was scolded by your papa. When Xiaobao heard this, he immediately looked at Lu Tingxiao solemnly. Lu Tingxiao said, She was injured in the fight today. Xiaobao immediately turned back to Ningxi with a serious face. Ningxi became listless. Well, it's my fault. Xiaobao drooped his head, feeling that he was also at fault. For the first time, the little guy knew that sometimes he shouldn't listen to his mother. Lu Tingxiao looked at his son's expression and knew that he was finally reflecting. It wasn't easy. Chapter 721. It was a snowy day today, so it was perfect to eat hot pot. It was a pity that she was injured and couldn't eat spicy food, so she could only make a clear soup base. Lu Tingxiao was busy from washing the vegetables to making the soup base. Ningxi sat there obediently and didn't dare to move a step. Lu Tingxiao looked at the girl sitting obediently like a primary school student, and the sincere expression on her face that said, I won't do it again next time. Obviously, he wasn't that easy to fool. Every time this girl admitted her mistake, she was very clean and her attitude was abnormally good, but next time, she would still do it, without hesitation. Oh yes, Xiaobao, Mom will find you a master to teach you how to fight. Apui teach you martial arts, okay? While eating, Ningxi asked for Xiaobao's opinion. Xiaobao tilted his head in inquiry. Martial arts? Yes, yes. This way, if you encounter someone bullying you in the future, you can protect yourself. You can also protect Mom. Ningxi explained. Hearing the last sentence, Xiaobao nodded decisively. Good boy. Ningxi patted Xiaobao's head happily. But it might be very hard and tiring, and you can't give up halfway. Xiaobao nodded seriously. He wasn't afraid of hardship. After getting Xiaobao's approval, Ningxi looked at Lu Tingxiao. Then when I have time, I will go talk to Tang Lang? Okay. So this matter was settled. Fortunately, Xiaobao's body had been much better under her care, otherwise, she really couldn't bear to let him suffer. But for Xiaobao's future, she still had to steal her heart. After dinner, although she was very reluctant, Ningxi still let Lu Tingxiao take Xiaobao home. Because she was getting busier and busier recently, she had to go to the company early tomorrow morning. If Xiaobao continued to stay at her place, it wouldn't be very convenient. Fortunately, it was very easy to see Xiaobao now. Seeing the adult and the child get into the car, Ningxi finally breathed a sigh of relief. She finally sent the big bad wolf away and dodged this disaster. Just as she was rejoicing, the door on the driver's side opened for some reason. Lu Tingxiao got out of the car and walked towards her. Lord boss, what's wrong? Did you forget something? And Lu Tingxiao nodded. Then, without warning, he wrapped his arms around her waist and leaned over to kiss her lips. Ouch, it hurts. Then, there was a sharp pain on her lips. Ningxi covered her mouth with an accusatory look. Why did you bite me? Lu Tingxiao tapped her lower lip with his fingertip and looked at her darkly. This is your punishment. Ningxi. Fuck, I knew it wouldn't be that easy to escape this calamity. Ningxi narrowed her eyes, suddenly pulled down Lu Tingxiao's neck, and took the initiative to kiss him. Then, she pressed her lips against his thin and cold lips, and under the man's slightly surprised gaze, she said softly, If this is a punishment, isn't that forcing me to make a mistake? As soon as he finished speaking, Lu Tingxiao felt a cluster of flames rise from his lower abdomen and spread throughout his entire body. His palm abruptly increased its strength and pinched the girl's waist tightly, as if he wished to rub her into his bones and blood. He said in an extremely dangerous tone, Don't provoke me. Ningxi was very obedient. She immediately took a few steps back and waved her hand with an innocent expression. Ahem, I'm just kidding. I really don't dare to do it again. Hurry up and go. Don't let Xiaobao wait for you. Ningxi, get well soon. Lu Tingxiao stared at her and finally left after saying this. Ningxi looked at the black car that left and pondered the devil's last words. She always felt, well, something was wrong. Somehow, she had a feeling that she would be eaten as soon as she got well. Chapter 722. In Chang Li's office at Starlight Entertainment, Ning Xuelua threw the newspaper in her hand at Chang Li's face. Useless. The headline on the front page read, In-Death Revelation. Hu Hongda's affair turns out to be Ning Xuelua. Hu Hongda's affair, which started the night before yesterday, was still fermenting. However, the public opinion had unknowingly turned in another direction. In addition to keyboard warriors and diehard fans, there were also a large number of rational fans and smart people behind the scenes. After the incident calmed down a little, some people began to analyze the whole thing. They didn't know what was going on, but when they did, they found that the whole thing was not as simple as it seemed. On the surface, it seemed that Fangya had a conflict with Ningxi and the crew, so she chose Ningxi to frame her. However, once Ningxi's reputation was ruined, the biggest and most direct beneficiary of the incident was Ning Xuelua. In addition, Ningxi was very popular at that time. Even Ning Xuelua, the female lead, was overshadowed by her. Ning Xuelua's fans went to make trouble, but they lost to Jiang Mai's fans. Then there began to be groundless rumors on the internet, saying that Ningxi was Hu Hongda's mistress. Finally, Hu Hongda posted on Weibo himself. Was this series of events really just a coincidence? Was Ningxi herself just too unlucky? Could it be that Fangya was ordered by Ning Xuelua to do this? It was said that the two of them had a good relationship. There were many conspiracy theories on the internet, so many people naturally thought of this. Not only that, even Ning Xuelua, who had been low-key for a long time and tried hard to suppress the stain of wronging Ningxi, was dug up again. It was suspected that her assistant was actually ordered by Ningxi. What the hell are you doing? How could you let this kind of thing spread? Even the newspapers. Ningxuelua was furious. Well, you can't blame me for this. You were so confident that there would be no problem, so I didn't pay much attention to it. Who knew that things would become like this overnight? Of course I'm sure that I won't be caught. If they had evidence, do you think I would still be standing here scolding you? The point is that this kind of statement doesn't need evidence at all. Should I sue those newspapers for libel? This won't do. The wording of the newspaper is too strict, and the full text is ambiguous. As for the ones on the internet, it's even more impossible to sue. Try to delete all related posts on the internet. If the newspaper can't take it down, then forget about it. Hurry up and take care of the other newspaper agencies. At the same time, Ningxi came to the company with a bunch of beautiful kikyu. Lin Jiji was immersed in her work. When she heard the knock on the door, she said without looking up, "Come in." The sound of footsteps could be heard, and then, a large bunch of bright and glistening light green platycodon came into view along with a fresh fragrance. Lin Jiji was a little startled. "This?" Ningxi smiled brightly at her. "Sister Jiji, this is for you." Lin Jiji took it with a smile. "Thank you." She couldn't remember how long it had been since she last received flowers. Looking at the fresh bouquet and the girl's smiling face, even the exhaustion from a day and night of sleepless nights was swept away. "By the way, Sister Jiji, when I was browsing Weibo this morning, I saw that many people suspected that Ningxuelua had something to do with Hu Hongda's incident. A few mainstream media outlets also published the news. You should have contributed to this, right? Actually, I also thought about it at that time, but I didn't have any evidence." Chapter 723. Lin Jiji pondered. Sometimes we don't need evidence. The netizens are not fools. We just need to guide them a little. If it happens once, it might be a coincidence. But if it happens a third time, what will the netizens think? No matter how clean she is, she won't be able to get away with it. As long as we gradually destroy Ning Shue's kind and weak image in the eyes of the public, we won't be in a passive position again. Ningxi narrowed her eyes. 1,000 miles of dike can be destroyed by an ant's nest. Lin Jiji suddenly pulled open a drawer. "By the way, I have something for you." "What is it?" Ningxi took it and looked at it in surprise. "Car key?" "Yes, the company gave it to you. The movie is about to be released, and you will need the car a lot during this period." "Holy crap. The company gave me a BMW? It was at least 1,000,000 yuan. Of course it can't be too shabby. Besides, you have done a good job. Not only did you get the world, but you also got 2 endorsements. Thank you, Sister Jiji. Thank the company. I will do my best." Ningxi looked at the car key happily. "Sister Jiji, the movie promotion has come to an end. Do you have any other work to do? I was just about to tell you that the launch of Noble Perfume will be held at the Imperial Hotel at 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. Remember to be punctual." "Okay. And one more thing." "What?" "I'm thinking if I should let Tao live with you. It will be more convenient for her to take care of you," Lin Jiji said. Ningxi's heart skipped a beat. What if Lu Tingxiao bumped into her one day? Forget it. I can take care of myself. Actually, I'm already used to living alone. If there's another person, I might feel uncomfortable." "Okay." Lin Jiji didn't insist. Ningxi was relieved. As they were talking, there was a quick knock on the door. Then Lei Ming hurried in. "Jiji, Ningxi is here too." "Great. Have you seen Jiang Mai?" Ningxi shook her head. "No." "What's wrong?" Lin Jiji also said. "I didn't see anything." Lei Ming looked like he was about to pass out. "Muyi has been missing for a day and a night. I can't get in touch with him. Is he hiding somewhere to play games again?" Ningxi said. Lei Ming looked at the time on his watch and said anxiously. "At first, I thought so too. But this morning, he had a signing ceremony for a 10 million endorsement. I negotiated it for 3 months, but I still can't get in touch with him. Aren't you trying to kill me?" The corners of Ningxi's mouth twitched. A 10 million endorsement, this prodigal. How long until the signing ceremony? Lin Jiji asked. Only 2 hours left. I beg the two of you to help me think about it. Where could he possibly go? I've searched all the places he usually goes. There's no one. Ningxi said helplessly. Brother Ming, I really can't help you. You must know everything I know. After all, she had met Jiang Mai abroad, so she didn't know where he might go in China. Gigi, I know you're busy. I beg you please help me. If this endorsement fails, then I can just find a tree and hang myself. Lei Ming, who was almost 1.9 meters tall, had a pitiful expression on his face. Chapter 724. Ningxi couldn't bear to see him like this. Sister Gigi, why don't you help him? Lin Jiji was silent for a while. Then she said, I'm sorry, Brother Ming. The problem is that I don't know where to find him. Just as he finished speaking, Lei Ming actually fainted with a putong sound. Ningxi and Lin Jiji were both startled. It took them a lot of effort to help him to the sofa. What should we do, Sister Gigi? Ningxi asked anxiously. A trace of struggle flashed across Lin Jiji's eyes. Finally, she said, take care of Brother Ming and call the ambulance. I'm going to find Jiang Mai. Okay, Ningxi said. After Lin Jiji left, Ningxi was about to call the ambulance when Lei Ming suddenly sat up on the sofa. Ningxi was almost scared out of her wits. Fuck. What's going on? Brother Ming, you didn't faint? Lei Ming looked at the door to make sure Lin Jiji was gone. Then he nodded. Yes, I faked it. Otherwise, Gigi wouldn't help me. Ningxi was speechless. You're too desperate. Lei Ming looked like he had nothing to live for. Do you think I want to? It's all because of that guy. I don't know what happened to him recently. He's in a very bad mood and he doesn't cooperate with me. He drove 3 assistants away in one day. I'm going crazy because of him. Lei Ming looked at Ningxi thoughtfully. In fact, he suspected that it had something to do with Ningxi. But Jiang Mai didn't say anything, so he wasn't sure. Ningxi didn't notice Lei Ming's gaze. She said helplessly, damn it. I suddenly find that compared with Jiang Mai, I'm so obedient. Half an hour later, in a ruin on the outskirts of the city, Lin Jiji stepped on her high heels and crossed a small mountain of garbage. One of her heels was broken, and her ankle was even more swollen after being pushed by a security guard from Hu Hongda's company yesterday. Finally, she walked to an abandoned bus parked at the back. There was no time to waste. She panted and knocked on the car door, but it was quiet inside. There was no response. Thus, she stretched out her hand and gently pushed the door open. The seats in the car had been hollowed out and transformed into a house, with a pure white cashmere blanket under it. Lin Jiji took off her shoes and stepped on the soft carpet with her bare feet. After taking a few steps, she pushed open the cubicle door. Sure enough, Jiang Mai was lying on the bed, sleeping soundly with a big white pillow in his arms. Beside him were a bunch of beer bottles. The roof above the bed was hollowed out and replaced with glass. At this moment, the morning light was sprinkling down from there. The man's golden hair seemed to glow, just like his entire body. No matter where he was dazzling. She remembered that when Jiang Mai hollowed out the roof of the car, he said that he could see the stars above his head while lying in bed at night. At that time, Jiang Mai was really out of the world. He didn't want to live in a good home, but came to this damn place and turned an abandoned bus into his home. Whenever he had something to do, he would come here to think about life. Jiang Mai. Jiang Mai. Lin Jiji called out to Jiang Mai a few times, but he was in a deep sleep and didn't respond at all. Therefore Lin Jiji bent over and whispered something in Jiang Mai's ear. The next second, Jiang Mai stood up as if he was having a seizure. Fuck. Who said that Shen Xiaobai is more handsome than me? Are you blind? Chapter 725. The next second, Jiang Mai, who had finally woken up, looked at Lin Jiji who was standing by the bed with a dull look on his face. Shit. How could it be you? I was wondering who could be so wicked as to wake me up in this way. Back then, Jiang Mai was the most handsome person in the entertainment circle. His biggest rival was Shen Xiaobai, and his fans often compared him with Shen Xiaobai. Therefore, The last thing he wanted to hear was that Shen Xiaobai was more handsome than him. Even if Shen Xiaobai had retired, this obsession was still deeply rooted in his mind. Brother Ming has been looking for you for a day and a night. The signing ceremony will start in an hour and a half. This place is too far from the hotel. You only have less than half an hour to get there, and there is no traffic jam, Lin Jiji said quickly. Oh, so what? Jiang Mai lay back down and didn't want to get up at all. Brother Ming has been helping you for 3 months. He even fainted in the company just now. And then? Seeing Jiang Mai's attitude, Lin Jiji's expression didn't change at all. If it were in the past, she would have scolded him or even cried because of his attitude. At this time a cell phone rang. It was Jiang Mai. Hello, Brother Mai. Why did you run away last night? We are going to the sea today. Will you come? It was a sweet woman's voice. Jiang Mai replied lazily. Got it. I'll be there in an hour. Then he got up unhurriedly and was about to leave. Looking at Jiang Mai, Lin Jiji felt as if she had gone back in time. Back then, he was just like that, willful, selfish and willful. The entire world revolved around him, and he never considered anyone else. What on earth made him become like that again? Jiang Mai was about to go out, but the next second he was stunned. Lin Jiji took out her cell phone and called Ningxi. Hello, Ningxi. Hearing Ningxi's name, Jiang Mai's face suddenly changed. He grabbed Lin Jiji's cell phone and hung up. His face was gloomy. Lin Jiji, what are you doing? Lin Jiji looked at him, asking her if Brother Ming is awake. What? What do you think I want to do? Jiang Mai threw the cell phone back to her with a dark face. I thought you were going to ask her to beat me. What else can I do? Lin Jiji didn't say anything and just stared at him. What are you looking at? Jiang Mai's hair stood on end. Lin Jiji said, Jiang Mai, go to the signing ceremony now. Jiang Mai sneered and looked her up and down. You've grown bolder, haven't you? How dare you order me around? Lin Jiji said. Or I will tell Ningxi that you like her. Fuck. Jiang Mai widened his eyes in disbelief. Lin Jiji, how dare you? Lin Jiji looked at him expressionlessly. Jiang Mai suddenly realized that he had fallen into a trap and hurriedly denied. Are you out of your mind? Who said I like her? Lin Jiji. You said it in your dream. Jiang Mai's face darkened. Are you trying to trick me? Lin Jiji. I recorded it. Fuck. Lin Jiji, you're too despicable. Jiang Mai said. His eyes turned cold, and he suddenly grabbed her phone, ready to destroy the evidence. At this time, Lin Jiji pressed the send button and said unhurriedly, Actually, you didn't talk in your dream, but I have recorded our conversation and sent it to my email. It's useless even if you delete it from my cell phone. Although Jiang Mai didn't say anything in the conversation, his attitude was equivalent to admitting it. Chapter 726. Although Jiang Mai didn't say anything in the conversation, his attitude meant that he admitted it. Sure enough, her guess was right. Only a woman could change a man. Jiang Mai had changed a lot since he came back to China. There was no other possibility. Lin Jiji. Damn it, you win. Jiang Mai gnashed his teeth. These conversations were irrefutable evidence, and they were even more convincing than sleep talk. Lin Jiji quickly picked out a set of clothes from Jiang Mai's wardrobe and threw them to him, signaling him to put them on. Then she called Ningxi and told her to tell Lei Ming that everything had been settled after he woke up and not to worry. However, Jiang Mai thought she was going to tell Ningxi, so he took off all his clothes in a second. I'm going to change now. Are you trying to kill me? Lin Jiji. Jiang Mai said proudly, how is it? Isn't my figure better than before? TSK. Who told you to quit? Do you regret it now? There are thousands of girls who have such a chance to touch me. Lin Jiji. I'm going to make a phone call if you keep talking nonsense. Jiang Mai. Fuck. Shengshi Entertainment. After Ningxi answered Lin Jiji's call, she immediately jumped in front of Lei Ming. Brother Ming, don't lie there like a corpse. Get up. Sister Jiji just called and said it's settled. She has found Jiang Mai and persuaded him to sign the contract. Really? You're not lying to me? Lei Ming jumped up as if he had a sudden recovery. Why would I lie to you? Sister Gigi said they are on the way to the hotel. That's great. I'm going to set up an altar for Gigi at home. Ningxi's mouth twitched. Since it's settled, I'm going home now. Okay. Jiang Mai's matter was finally settled. Ningxi couldn't wait to go to the garage to see her little BMW. Oh, it's a little black horse. Ningxi looked at the black car. It was probably because it was her first job. The more she looked at it, the more she liked it. Oh, what should she do? Her injury was on her thigh, and it was quite high up. It should be fine to drive there, right? The more Ningxi looked at it, the more tempted she became. She decisively pressed the key and got in. As soon as Ningxi drove away, Liang Biqin and several actresses walked over. Isn't that Ningxi? Is that BMW her car? One of them looked in the direction Ningxi left and asked. I think so. I heard from my agent that the company arranged it for her. Another female artist replied. Her eyes were filled with envy and jealousy. Fuck. Why would a newcomer be given a BMW? Based on what? You haven't even released a single work yet, and you've only accepted a small game endorsement. What right do you have to receive such good treatment? Maybe it's because it's popular recently? I thought that Ningxi was dead for sure after the incident with Hu Hongda. Who knew that she would turn things around in an instant and become famous for free, gaining so much sympathy. Moreover, wasn't Under the Heavens going to premiere soon? Who knows, he might be able to make a comeback soon. Liang Biqin scoffed softly. What do you guys know? Female artists like her, who could only rely on scandals and beauty to gain popularity, were the lowest in the industry, second only to those who relied on exposing their breasts and selling their bodies. Even if she became popular, she would never be able to go the high-end route. That's true. The others echoed. Oh, by the way, I heard that Noble is holding a new product launch and fashion dinner at Dijua tomorrow night. Did any of you get an invitation? Chapter 727. Are you kidding me? How could small characters like us receive an invitation to such a high-end dinner party? I heard that Noble is exclusively for royal dignitaries. Although it's not that popular, it's definitely more classy than Chanel, Tiffany, and Arani. Listening to the discussion around her, Liang Biqin casually took out an exquisite invitation from her bag. Are you talking about this? Ah, this is it. This is it. Biqin, you're amazing. You actually got an invitation. One of the female celebrities was full of admiration. She stared at the invitation with glowing eyes. Ah, this invitation smells so good. No wonder it's a perfume. Even the invitation is so creative. Of course, I heard that they've invited all the big names in the entertainment and fashion circles. Biqin's movies are getting more and more popular, and her TV series this year has high ratings. It's no surprise that she was invited. I'm so jealous. I want to go and see for myself. Me too. Liang Biqin carefully put away the invitation. She then looked at them and said, I can't help you with this, but I can ask my cousin for help. She's quite close to Noble's art director, Cook. She's even a special guest this time. Really? That's great. Thank you so much, Biqin. Liang Biqin's vanity was completely satisfied with the compliments and gratitude. Don't mention it, it's just a small matter. On the way home, Ningxi thought about it. Seeing that she had nothing to do for the rest of the day, she decided to take advantage of this time to meet her second senior. However, she suddenly remembered that Tang Lang's original number was unreachable, so she put on her Bluetooth headset and called Lu Tingxiao. Hello. A man's calm voice came from the other end. Ningxi. Boss, what's Tang Lang's phone number? Send it to me. I'm free this afternoon, so I'm going to ask him out. Lu Tingxiao. Okay. Oh, the company gave me a car, it's a little black horse, it's so cool. Ningxi excitedly shared her good mood with Lu Tingxiao. You're driving? Lu Tingxiao asked. Yeah. Focus on driving. Be careful of your leg injury. I'm hanging up. Lu Tingxiao was about to hang up the phone. On the other end of the line, Ningxi sounded disappointed. She curled her lips and said, Boss, you're so cold to me. Won't you give me a kiss? Stop fooling around. Oh, bye-bye. Ningxi hung up. A few seconds later, his phone rang. Lu Tingxiao must have sent her his number. Ningxi glanced at it out of the corner of her eye and saw that it was a cell phone number. There were 3 words at the end of the message. Pfft. Ningxi couldn't help laughing. The Demon King is so cute. After returning home, Ningxi immediately called second senior brother. Hello, second senior brother? Little junior sister, you finally remembered to call me. Your second senior brother. The voice on the other end of the phone sounded lonely and sad. How would I know you're in the capital? You. Cough, are you working? When will you be free? Shall we meet? Ningxi asked. Don't worry, I'll be free soon. Your man just gave me a day off and said you want to see me. Sigh, even a small security guard can't avoid being stuffed with dog food. Ningxi. Okay. Chapter 728. In a restaurant. Lady boss, not far away, a man was waving at her. The man had short brown curly hair as usual, and he had one hand in his pocket. He was actually wearing a security uniform. After seeing Tang Lang's appearance, Ningxi decisively spat out a mouthful of water. Tisk, why are you so excited to see second senior brother? The man sat down opposite her and raised his eyebrows. Ahem. Second senior brother. Are you really working as a security guard at Lu Tingxiao's company? Although she already knew in advance, it was still not as exciting as seeing it with her own eyes. Yes. What's wrong? Didn't I tell you on the phone? Because you wanted to see me, the boss personally gave me half a day off. Tang Lang said as he habitually touched his waist. Of course it wasn't a gun there, but a small electric baton. Second senior brother. What exactly happened to you? Don't tell me your brain was damaged when you fought with eldest senior brother last time? Tang Lang glanced at her from the corner of his eyes with an expression, as if he was looking for defeat. You mortals will never understand the feeling of suddenly wanting to be immortal. Ningxi. Oh right, junior sister, I've been wanting to ask you for a long time. What exactly is your relationship with Lu Tingxiao? One night stand? Multi-night stand? Or did he keep you? Tang Lang leaned on the table and asked with great interest. One night stand or multi-night stand? Why didn't he just say one night stand? Ningxi was speechless. Bullshit, we're openly boyfriend and girlfriend. Damn. Are you serious? Tang Lang was shocked. No wonder someone has been so crazy recently. Someone? Who are you talking about? Ningxi looked vigilant. No one. Tang Lang changed the topic. How long have you two been dating? Ningxi counted. Well, including today, it's 3 days. Ahem, then didn't you guys only confirm your relationship with Dib? Tang Lang asked in surprise. Ningxi rolled her eyes at him. Yes, a friend in need is a friend indeed. Haven't you heard of that? Tang Lang. He felt that if someone knew the truth and knew that he was a godly assistant, he would definitely be furious. Ningxi tapped her fingers on the table. Now it's my turn to ask you. What do you want to ask? Tang Lang raised his eyebrows. Why are you working for Lu Tingxiao all of a sudden? We're just taking what we need. Ningxi looked thoughtful when she heard this. It seemed that second senior brother needed Lu Tingxiao's help with something, and the two had reached an agreement. As for the specifics, Ningxi didn't plan to ask. Some things were better left unsaid. Thus, Ningxi went straight to the point. I actually have a serious matter to discuss with you. Second senior brother, are you interested in doing a part-time job? Tang Lang's eyes lit up. Oh, part-time? He was quite interested. I'm in need of money. All her previous accounts had been sealed by that crazy Tang Yi. Simply too heartless, shameless and unreasonable. The corners of Ningxi's mouth twitched. Eldest senior brother didn't kill you because of his deep affection for you. Tell me what part-time job. No matter what part-time job it is, as long as I have money, I will do it. Tang Lang said straightforwardly. Don't agree so quickly. The part-time job I'm talking about is to be the master of a 5-year-old boy. Seriously and attentively teach him everything you know. Tang Lang combed his bangs. 5-year-old child? That's a little too difficult. Whose child is it? To actually make you come to me personally, junior sister. Ningxi took a sip of tea. My son. Chapter 729. When did you have a son? Moreover, he was already 5 years old. The most unscientific thing was, you actually have the ability to give birth? Tang Lang looked at Ning Shi as if he had seen a ghost. Ning Shi didn't want Tang Lang to make a fuss when he saw her in women's clothes, so she specially went home and changed into men's clothes before coming out to see him. But even if she wore men's clothing, she was still a woman, all right. I'm a woman, okay? Why isn't there such a function? Ning Shi was speechless. Really your son? Ning Shi rolled her eyes at him. Isn't Lu Tingxiao's son my son? The corner of Tang Lang's mouth twitched. You really don't regard me as an outsider. I thought he was really your son. Speaking of which, aren't you being too nice to Lu Tingxiao's son? Why are you so concerned about me? Why do you care? Are you going to do it or not? Do. As long as there's money, I'll do anything. That's settled then. The time will be every Saturday and Sunday, because he usually has to go to kindergarten. Also, the first 3 months will be a probation period. If you don't teach well, I'll have to replace you. Ning Shi said seriously. TSK. Tang Lang looked at her, and clicked his tongue. What are you clicking your tongue for? Now that you've become someone else's woman, you're siding with an outsider. That little junior sister who followed behind me every day will never come back. Hee, you can already be a security guard. What else is impossible in this world? After chatting with Tang Lang for a long time, Ning Shi suddenly remembered that there was still a very important question. That's right, second senior brother, that. Does Lu Tingxiao know about what happened to me? You also know about our relationship? Tang Lang took a sip of tea. He should know. Hearing this answer, Ning Shi was relieved. In fact, when they were in the abandoned arsenal in Philadelphia, Lu Tingxiao had already seen it with his own eyes. Who cares if he knows or not? Just as Ning Shi was deep in thought, Tang Lang suddenly said, Hey, it's fine if it's a certain someone, but I never thought that Lu Tingxiao's taste would be so heavy. Ning Shi's face darkened. Fuck. What did that mean? Why is liking me a heavy taste? Isn't liking you enough? Alright. Actually, it seemed to be a little heavy. Pearl River Imperial View. When she got home, Ning Shi saw a man with a hat, mask and sunglasses squatting at the door. Golden Fur? Why are you here? Where did you go? I'm freezing. Open the door. Jiang Mai urged. As expected, it was this fellow. Ning Shi took out the key to open the door and poured him a cup of hot water. Have you signed the contract? Jiang Mai grunted. Why did you suddenly come here? I thought you really wanted to sever ties with me. Ning Shi raised her brows. Jiang Mai was furious when he heard that. How dare you say that? I don't know who was the one who told me not to worry. He said that your journey was the sea of stars and you would never stop for any flower or grass. Jiang Mai was furious. Sigh, love comes too fast, just like a tornado. Jiang Mai resisted the urge to fight with her. He took a deep breath and said, I'm just here to tell you, during this period, if Lin Jiji tells you anything about me, don't believe it. What do you mean? Who cares what she says? Just don't believe it. Jiang Mai said impatiently. Then he put on his mask and said, I'm leaving. Ning Shi was speechless. He came all the way here just to say something so ridiculous. What a lunatic. Chapter 730. The next night. Dijua Hotel. The world's top luxury brand, Noble's new product launch was about to begin, and it would be officially launched in Hua Nation next month. The mysterious female lead of a new commercial, the most expensive perfumer in the world, Green and Krista, the director of the movies Red and Black and Wind, Noble's art director Cook Bryan, the country's top fragrance concoction master White Rose, the entertainment industry's A-list superstars Su Yimo, Song Lin, and many other big shots in the fashion industry were all present. Su Yimo was wearing a long dress inlaid with exotic flowers to match the theme of the perfume, looking very mysterious and elegant. Sister Yimo, you're so beautiful today. Nonsense, Yimo is beautiful every day. Thank you, Sister Yimo. Otherwise we wouldn't have been able to come. The celebrities who got in through Su Yimo's back door complimented her politely. You're welcome, we're all colleagues, Su Yimo said calmly. While they were chatting, someone suddenly remembered and asked, "Oh yeah, do you guys know who's the spokesperson for Noble's new product? Noble has been keeping it a secret, and no one in the industry knows anything about it. It's so mysterious." "What's so mysterious about it? It's just Li Leilang." Liang Biqin looked like she already knew the inside story. Hearing this, someone felt sorry. Li Leilang? Why is she from Starlight? Didn't anyone from Golden Era audition? Sister Yimo has other contracts. Why didn't you, Biqin? Liang Biqin's expression turned ugly when she heard this. Of course she tried, but she was eliminated in the first round. Seeing Liang Biqin's expression, the person who spoke realized that he had said something wrong, and immediately tried to smooth things over. "Look at my memory, you were busy filming. You definitely didn't have time. What a pity." Liang Biqin's expression finally calmed down, and she said, "Yeah, I was too busy, so I didn't sign up." Then, she secretly rejoiced that the audition process for Noble's spokesperson was completely confidential, so they wouldn't know if she signed up or not. While they were talking, they suddenly saw two people walk in. "Isn't that Ning Shi and Lin Jiji? Why are they here? Isn't it obvious?" Lin Jiji also can't stand Ning Shi's low class. She wants her to experience more occasions like this and wash away her rustic aura. "Ah, Director Cook. Director Cook is here." Soon, the group's attention was attracted by the sudden appearance of Noble's art director, Cook. "He seems to be looking in our direction. Ah, he's coming." Although Liang Biqin was also very excited, she pretended to be calm and said in a low voice, "What's there to be surprised about? I told you that my cousin has a good relationship with Director Cook." Su Yimo stood up calmly. "Mr. Cook, long time no see." Cook shook hands with her politely. "Miss Su, we meet again. Thank you and your friends for coming." "No, you're too polite." Seeing how close Su Yimo and Cook were, the other female artists were all envious, and Liang Biqin was proud of them. "I'm too busy today, so I'll take my leave first." As Cook spoke, he looked into the distance with an anxious expression. He seemed to be in a hurry. After exchanging a few words, he immediately walked behind Su Yimo and the others. "Hey, dear Shi, we finally meet again." Chapter 731. Cook was polite and distant when he talked to Su Yimo, but when he saw Ning Shi, his whole face lit up. His tone was full of enthusiasm, and he gave Ning Shi a big hug. Ning Shi had been in China for 4 years, so she was used to their warm greetings, so she hugged him back. "Long time no see." "Oh honey, why?" Cook looked her up and down in surprise. Ning Shi blinked. "What's wrong with me?" "Honey, you're even more beautiful than before," Cook said excitedly. Ning Shi didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "My dear director, you're so good at coaxing girls," Cook said sincerely. "Oh no honey, you've really become more beautiful. No, strictly speaking you're charming. Honey, are you in love?" Ning Shi was dumbfounded. Damn it, did this guy have sharp eyes? Ahem, Director Cook, you are so good at joking. Ning Shi glanced at Lin Jiji with scruples, and hurriedly made up an excuse. Fortunately, Cook didn't ask further, and Lin Jiji didn't notice it either. "Then when I see you later, honey, I have a feeling that everyone will be amazed by you. See you later." "Thank you for your compliment." Although Su Yimo and Liang Biqin couldn't hear what they were talking about, they could tell that Cook and Ning Shi were very close and enthusiastic. Su Yimo's face darkened. Liang Biqin's face darkened. Why is that woman so close to Director Cook? "I think she's too close," a female actress said sarcastically. Liang Biqin snorted. "I was wondering how she got the invitation. Lin Jiji is so down and out now. How could she get an invitation? This bitch is really getting higher and higher." Su Yimo glanced at her and said unhappily, "Don't talk nonsense. Have you forgotten what I told you?" This cousin of hers was too impetuous and impatient. Everyone in the circle knew that she was her cousin, so it didn't matter if she talked nonsense, she would be implicated too. "I'm sorry, cousin. I just couldn't stand seeing her like that." Liang Biqin muttered and restrained herself a little. "Sister Mo, you really have a good temper. If I were you, I wouldn't be able to stand being tied up by these people all day." "That's right." A moment later, the product launch officially began. First, the founder of Noble explained their product concept and future plans to expand into the Chinese market. After that, Su Yimo and a group of big names in the fashion industry spoke one after another. Su Yimo had the demeanor of a goddess. She said in an interview, "I've always loved Noble's products, and I admire Noble's creative inspiration. I'm honored to attend the launch of their new perfume. Imo, I heard that you were Director Cook's favorite endorser, but because you're the endorser for Chanel, they couldn't work together. Is that true?" a reporter asked. Su Yimo smiled. "It's indeed a pity." This was a tacit agreement with the reporter's words. So the reporter turned the microphone to Director Cook and asked casually, "I'm sure Director Cook is also very disappointed." Cook said without hesitation, No, it's my good fortune. There's a saying in China, misfortune may turn out to be a blessing in disguise. I think that's how I feel. I'm very satisfied with the endorser this time. She's amazing." Chapter 732. As soon as Cook said this, everyone in the room felt awkward. The reporter who asked the question just now broke out in a cold sweat. These foreigners were too blunt. Even if it was unintentional, it was still too embarrassing. In the end, Su Yimo smiled casually and said, "Director Cook praised her so highly. I believe she must be a very outstanding artist." Director Cook nodded and said, "Yes." Fortunately, because of Su Yimo's generosity, the awkwardness was finally resolved. However, the people in the room were even more interested in the new spokesperson that was about to be announced. Did Cook deliberately exaggerate for the sake of the brand? Or was the spokesperson really that good? The latter was quite likely. After all, it was a high-end brand like Noble, so the spokesperson this time would definitely be an A-list artist or even an A-list artist. It was normal for Cook to say this. After a brief interlude, the new product launch continued. The staff enthusiastically gave the guests and reporters the test papers for the new perfume. Noble Perfume Workshop has been passed down from generation to generation for nearly 200 years. The formula is profound. This time, as always, we adhere to the most ancient aromatherapy distillation technology and strictly select the best materials. This time, our perfume uses roses from Bulgaria's Rose Valley, jasmine from Florence, evening jasmine from India, vetiver from Haiti, and ylang ylang from Madagascar. Everyone gently sniffed the test paper. The rich fragrance made them feel like they were in an ancient and luxurious palace, and they couldn't help but become dignified, accompanied by the vivid explanation and intoxicated praises from the audience. The huge screen in front of them quietly lit up. The screen showed a cloudy sky, and then the camera cut through the layers of dark clouds and directly switched to the ancient Chang'an street in China. The camera focused on a girl in ragged clothes. The girl's hair was messy, and her face was full of dirt. It was impossible to see her original appearance. Seeing this scene, the guests and reporters below the stage revealed a look of surprise. Am I seeing things? Is this the commercial that Noble spent a lot of money on? Isn't the theme of Noble, Noble, Noble? Yeah, why is the female lead of the commercial a beggar? At that moment, a pair of embroidered uniform guards in palace robes riding on large horses galloped past. They did not notice the young beggar girl on the side of the street. At this point, the audience was still confused. They had no idea how the plot would develop next. I can't believe I still don't know who the spokesperson is. Nonsense. Who would be able to recognize him when his face is painted like this? Isn't this spokesperson a little too pitiful? Could it be that the beggar was just a passerby, and the real protagonist is still behind? Amidst the doubtful whispers below the stage, the camera focused on the weeping willow by the street. A cool breeze blew past, and the willow catkins fluttered in the wind. Then, the sound of approaching horse hooves could be heard. The team of horses that had just left suddenly returned and stopped in front of the beggar girl. The leading general quickly jumped off his horse and lowered his head before kneeling on one knee in front of the beggar girl with incomparable respect. Following that, all the guards dismounted from their horses and bowed their heads in unison as they half knelt in front of the young lady. Chapter 733. Then the camera focused on the girl's face. The girl's hair fluttered gently in the wind, as if there was an invisible fragrance. Seeing such a scene, the girl's dirty face didn't show any surprise. In her clear eyes, there was a kind of arrogance in her indifferent eyes. Then the scene changed from Chang and street to the luxurious palace hall. In the camera was a woman's back. The woman was dressed in a gorgeous golden silk dress, and her hair was combed into a delicate bun. She walked into the hall step by step in a dignified manner. At this moment, everyone had understood the plot. The beggar girl was actually a princess who accidentally wandered among the common people. Because the girl's clothes were ragged and her face was dirty, the guards didn't recognize her at first. Finally, they found out the girl's true identity because of her noble aura even though she was down and out. When everyone was amazed by the creativity of the commercial, on the big screen, the scene suddenly changed to the princess's face. Finally, the princess's face was seen. The audience couldn't help but look forward to it. The hairpin in her hair swayed gently. When the princess slowly raised her head, the bright red flower applique on her forehead and her extremely beautiful face caused everyone to suck in a breath of cold air in awe. Compared with the previous beggar image, this scene was even more shocking. What was more shocking was that everyone had recognized who the girl was. Ningxi. It's Ningxi. The second female lead in the world, Mengchanga, is played by Ningxi. So beautiful. I remember being amazed when I saw the trailer of The World. Some people were surprised and some were stunned. The moment Ningxi's face appeared, Su Yimo almost spilled the tea in her hand. It turned out to be Ningxi. How could it be? How could it be Ningxi? Liang Biqin stood up uncontrollably and wanted to see clearly. She murmured incredulously, "It's impossible. How could it be Ningxi? Is there a mistake somewhere?" "Yes, Biqin, didn't you say it was Li Leilang? How could that woman Ningxi be qualified to receive such a high-level endorsement?" However, although Ningxi's face only appeared for a second at the end of the commercial, it left a deep impression on everyone. That was Ningxi. They would never mistake her for someone else. After a brief moment of silence, the audience burst into thunderous applause. Wonderful. It was too exciting. As expected of director Cook. What a clever idea. Although the film doesn't have a single line, it conveys a concept to everyone. Nobility is a kind of temperament. Even if the princess became a beggar on the streets, she was still a princess. Her noble temperament will not change because of her clothes and appearance. Amazing. What's even more amazing is that the female lead only showed her face at the very last second. But that last second was all that remained in my mind. Even when the only thing left on the big screen was the latest gorgeous crystal bottle and the brand logo of the perfume, everyone was still immersed in amazement. Next, let's welcome our new spokesperson Ningxi. Miss Ning. In the host's excited voice, Ningxi, who had been sitting quietly in the corner without anyone noticing, slowly stood up. Director Cook walked off the stage with great enthusiasm, bowed to Ningxi, and then reached out to help her walk to the stage. Chapter 734. There was no doubt that it was Ningxi. There was no doubt that Ningxi was the spokesperson of Noble. What a surprise. I didn't expect that the mysterious spokesperson would be Miss Ningxi, who plays Mengchanga. The competition is so fierce this time. I believe there will be many excellent artists participating in the audition. Why did you choose Ningxi? Because during the audition, I saw that Mengchanga had the noble temperament and pride that our brand needs most. Cook answered with satisfaction. Ningxi, can you tell us what you know about perfume? The reporter turned to Ningxi and asked. Perfume is the most direct and invasive smell on a person's body. A person's taste will extend around the fragrance. For a woman, a man might not remember what kind of clothes you wore today, or even your appearance, but he would definitely remember the smell on your body. People will never forget their memories of smells. Ningxi answered calmly. She didn't show any stage fright or nervousness under the attention of so many reporters and big shots in the circle. The press conference was carried on in a peaceful atmosphere. Everyone's eyes were on Ningxi, and no one noticed that two people had arrived at the door behind them. Ning Xuelua looked at Li Leilang, who had dragged her over. She felt a little helpless. Although she was also invited, She didn't intend to make trouble for herself because she knew that the spokesperson was Ning Shi. She thought that Li Leiling wouldn't come either, but she didn't expect that Li Leiling would come alone and drag her here. Xuelua, trust me. Just wait and see. There will be a good show later. Li Leiling looked at Ning Shi, who was the focus of attention on the stage, with a vicious look. That was her. Those admiring eyes should have belonged to her, but now they were all taken away by this shameless woman. Ning Xuelua looked at Li Leiling's determined eyes and felt a little uneasy. However, since Li Leiling wanted to mess with Ning Shi, she was happy to see it happen. So she sat down with her and waited to see what would happen. Well, she didn't need to deal with Ning Shi herself. At this time, Liang Biqin noticed Li Leiling's arrival, so her eyes lit up. She immediately turned around and asked in a low voice, Li Leiling, you're here too? Li Leiling nodded nonchalantly. She did not have a good attitude towards the artists of Golden Era. She was just trying to save face. Her attention was focused on the stage, and she was not in the mood to talk to anyone. Liang Biqin asked impatiently, aren't you the spokesperson for Noble? Why did it become Ningxi? Li Leiling furrowed her brows. Her expression did not look too good. She then said faintly, at first I also thought it was me, but forget it. Hearing this, Liang Biqin and the other female artists around her felt a little strange. Why was there something wrong with Li Leiling's words? What did he mean by thinking that it was her? Liang Biqin rolled her eyes and suddenly felt a little excited. Could there be some inside story? Just then, during the Q&A session, a reporter suddenly asked in a sharp tone. As we all know, the competition to be the spokesperson for Noble is very fierce. Just based on what I know, the few who signed up are all A-list and super-A-list actresses in the industry. There are even award-winning actresses like Fang Xiaowen and outstanding artists like Meng Shi. Why did you choose the little-known Ning Shi as the endorser based on the trailer of The World? Chapter 735. Hearing this, everyone on the scene was stunned, and it was easy for them to think of the ambiguous direction. After a pause, the reporter said more directly, I have received insider information that the endorser was Miss Li Leiling of Starlight Entertainment. Why did she suddenly change to Ningxi? Is there some kind of unspeakable deal? The reporter's words were very obvious. Every sentence was an accusation. Ningxi squeezed Li Leiling out of her position through the unspoken rules. In an instant, there was an uproar on the scene. Su Yimo, who had been pretending to be calm and generous, relaxed a little imperceptibly. Liang Biqin looked excited. I knew it was like this. In the back seat, Li Leiling crossed her arms over her chest and gave Ning Xuelua a smug look. Obviously, she had arranged that reporter. Can Director Kuk and Miss Ning Shi give all of us an answer to this question? The reporter looked at Ning Shi with a mocking look. Everyone's cameras and eyes turned to Ning Shi excitedly or gossipy, trying to capture her embarrassed mood. However, in the face of such a severe accusation and such a sudden situation, Ning Shi's expression didn't change at all. Instead, she took the microphone and stared at the reporter, who questioned her like an ice blade. Yes, I admit that the competition is very fierce this time. When I received the notice from my agent that I had passed the primary, I was very surprised and pleasantly surprised. Reporter friend, I want to ask you something. Is there a causal relationship between the fierce competition and the fact that I passed the audition through abnormal means? Because of the fierce competition, I shouldn't have passed the audition? In addition, insider information. Where did you get the so-called insider information? Do you think it's appropriate for you to pin such a serious crime as dealing with an unscrupulous person on me just based on these 4 words? If the person sitting here today is not me, but someone else, can I also question the other party with the groundless reason of insider information? Ning Shi threw out 3 questions in a row, one sharper than the other, and immediately the reporter was speechless. The reporter's face turned red, and then he said in a tough tone, as a reporter, we have the right to raise reasonable questions and restore the truth for the public. Besides, everyone has seen your flirtatious behavior with Director Cook just now. Ha, ambiguous? It's an ordinary hug between friends and partners. Do you think it's ambiguous? Do you know the saying that what you see in your heart is what you see? Are you exercising your authority, or using it to slander? Ningxi questioned. You're just quibbling. Then he took out a large stack of photos from his bag and distributed them to everyone present, including Ningxi and Kuk. I have evidence. How do you explain these photos? Ningxi took a look at the photos. They were some of the highlights and interactions she had with director Kuk in China. However, the camera angle was very tricky. Kuk was just excitedly patting her shoulder, but because of the angle, it looked like they were hugging each other. There were even a few photos that looked like they were kissing each other. Instantly, the guests and journalists at the scene became more excited and looked at Ningxi with disgust. I thought the qualifiers would be very fair. I didn't expect such a big brand to have such a scandal. This is too embarrassing. At the same time, when no one noticed, backstage, Lin Jiji had quietly found the director's assistant, whispered something in his ear, and handed him a USB flash drive. Chapter 736. The assistant nodded and then walked towards Kuk on the stage. At this moment, Kuk's face was extremely dark. After hearing what the assistant whispered to him, he hesitated, but when he looked at Ningxi, he suddenly became determined. So he nodded to the assistant, glanced at the audience solemnly, and finally stared at the reporter. The audition process, including our shooting process, was supposed to be confidential, but since everyone has such doubts, with that, he winked at the assistant, who immediately inserted the USB flash drive into the computer. The next second, a picture appeared on the big screen. Everyone thought that Kuk had no choice but to announce the casting process, so they immediately looked at the big screen excitedly. The room in the picture was obviously the interview hall, and the girl in the interview hall turned out to be Li Leilang. Li Leilang was wearing an incomparably gorgeous Chinese qipao. She was sitting there and playing a guqin. She exuded a noble and elegant aura. She was so perfect that nothing could be picked on her. Seeing such a picture, everyone was even more certain of the reporter's words. Li Leilang's performance is really wonderful. It's simply unsurpassable. Yes, there's obviously an inside story. Then, before the discussion stopped, Ningxi, who was covered in dust, walked in. In the beginning, Kuk was cursing at Ningxi. He scolded Ningxi that dressing like this was disrespectful to them. Sure enough, the endorser should have been Li Leilang. Director Kuk hated Ningxi at first. Why did he choose her as the endorser later? That's obvious. He must have used some extreme means. Everyone looked at each other with a tacit understanding. However, right after that, everyone was as shocked as Kuk on the big screen, speechless. Ningxi sat in front of the guqin calmly and played a super difficult Guangling San. I think the real elegance and nobility is not to use the name of a luxury brand between the lines, not to play expensive jewelry on the wrist, not to show off one's beauty and knowledge. The real nobility is that even if one's clothes are ragged and unkempt, one's nobility can't be concealed. Until Ningxi's words came from the big screen, everyone in the audience was still in a daze. It was so shocking. Such a wonderful idea in the noble commercial was actually from Ningxi's audition. However, this was not the end. The big screen continued to play the highlights of the commercial. It could be seen that the photos that the reporter showed them were deliberately taken from ambiguous angles. In fact, the two of them were communicating normally, without any ambiguity. The last image on the big screen was a list of actors. The form was filled with the names of all the applicants, and beside it was the list of those who had been selected. Liang Biqin and Ning Xuelua's names were on the list of applicants. Liang Biqin was just a little disappointed that she couldn't knock Ningxi down. But when she saw her name on the registration list, her face suddenly changed. At the same time, the female artists around Liang Biqin were speechless. He had clearly registered but was eliminated. Yet, to save face, he said he didn't register. Of course, there was another person whose expression was even worse than Liang Biqin's. Li Leilang didn't expect that Ningxi was prepared. Kuk even made the audition process public for her. She was annoyed when she saw the name list. Ning Xuelua's name was on the list. Chapter 737. Didn't Ning Xuelua say that she didn't sign up because she didn't want to compete with her? Shuelua, you signed up? Didn't you say you didn't? Ning Shuelua didn't expect that the thing she was most worried about would happen. Her face darkened, and she forced herself to say, I'm surprised too. I clearly told Sister Chong not to help me sign up. Maybe she had too many things to do and was negligent. I see. Li Leiling was skeptical. However, even if Ning Shuelua said so, it didn't change the fact that she was eliminated in the first round. She had originally thought that with Ning Shueluo's temperament, she would be her biggest competitor. Who knew that she would actually be eliminated in the first round? The Noble product launch came to an end. After that, the reporters surrounded Ning Shuelua. Because Ning Shuelua was the most famous one on the eliminated list, the reporters naturally focused their attention on her. Shuelua, you also participated in the Noble edition, but you lost to your former junior sister. How do you feel about it? Shuelua, the theme of Noble is nobility. Does this mean that Director Cook thinks that you don't fit the theme? Ning Shuelua stared at Ning Shi, who was surrounded and praised by the reporters not far away. She clenched her nails into her palms and answered the reporters calmly. I didn't intend to participate in this audition, nor did I know about it. My agent must have helped me vote, so I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry. What he meant was that he had just casually thrown it and didn't take it to heart at all. He hadn't seriously prepared for it. However, no one knew how many people would believe her. Liang Biqin looked at Ning Shuelua, who was surrounded by reporters, and secretly rejoiced that Ning Shuelua's attention was diverted. Fearing that she would be targeted, she quickly ran away. Li Leiling was really screwed over by her. Fortunately, even Ning Shuelua didn't make it, so it wasn't so embarrassing for her. On the other side, after saying goodbye to Director Cook, Ning Shi left the hotel, accompanied by Lin Jiji. In the car, Ning Shi happily hugged Lin Jiji and kissed her. Sister Jiji, you're so awesome. You actually prepared all of this in advance. Lin Jiji looked at her helplessly. Just in case. It was only because of your good performance that I was able to follow your reaction. Otherwise, if your reaction had been slightly inappropriate, it would have become a laughing stock. Ning Shi snorted. We are the best partners. Lin Jiji chuckled. Go back and have a good rest. We're about to start preparing for the new show. Okay. Back home, Ning Shi ate her meal, then wiped her lower body with hot water, and lay comfortably on the bed. As he was reading a book on film theory, there was a knock on the door. Who could it be at this time? Ning Shi opened the door and saw Lu Tingxiao standing at the door in a black trench coat. He seemed to be emitting cold air from outside the house. Ning Shi immediately rushed over and hugged him. Boss, you're here. With that said, she stuck her head out and looked behind him. Where's Xiaobao? Lu Tingxiao replied with a straight face. I didn't bring him. Why? It's not suitable for children. Lu Tingxiao said and pushed the door open with his arm around her waist. With a bang, the door was closed. Ning Shi leaned against the door, and the man held the back of her head and kissed her wantonly. Chapter 738. The Great Demon King who had removed the seal. He was really passionate. Ning Shi had already changed into a soft and warm velvet pajamas. The man's palm easily slipped into the pajamas from her slender waist and moved up, covering the soft curve. Because Lu Tingxiao's palm was cold from outside, Ning Shi's body couldn't help shivering. She didn't know if it was because of the cold or the sudden stimulation. Are you cold? Lu Tingxiao's big palm hurriedly withdrew. At this moment, the girl was wearing furry pajamas, and her long hair was comfortably and casually draped over her shoulders. She had a comfortable and lazy air about her. She was too soft, too warm, and too fragrant, which made him lose control uncontrollably. And today was already the 4th day of their relationship. More than half of the 1 week of death deadline had passed without them noticing. These few days he almost didn't know how he came back. He floated in extreme joy and despair. He had thought of many ways to make it impossible for her to leave him again, and he couldn't bear to leave her for even a second. But in the end, he chose to let nature take its course. Being held in his arms, Ning Shi sensitively felt a heat source and a gradually hardening part of the man's lower abdomen. It seemed that the man's heart trembled and slightly rough feelings still remained. She couldn't help blushing. It was just a kiss, and there was a reaction? And this wasn't the first time. Damn it, the next time anyone said that Lu Tingxiao didn't like women, she would slap him to the wall. Did it go well today? Lu Tingxiao asked, his voice still hoarse from lust. Ningxi's little face lit up as she nodded. There was a small disturbance, but it's all settled. Sensing that Lu Tingxiao was holding her and adjusting his breathing, obviously suppressing his emotions, Ningxi raised her little head that was pressed against his chest. She blinked at the man and said weakly, "Well, the nurse said that it's not good for the body to hold it in for too long. The nurse also said that although I'm injured, I don't actually need to do it. How about I help you?" As soon as she finished speaking, the little beast that Lu Tingxiao had used all his self-control to appease completely lost control after hearing Ningxi's words. Lu Tingxiao leaned over and kissed the girl's forehead. His tone was much calmer now. "No need." "Why?" He was already in such a state. "Because I can't bear to." He couldn't bear to force her to do anything she didn't want to do. Ningxi sighed softly. "Well, in fact I was a little repulsed by men, but—" "Boss!" As they were talking, the doorbell suddenly rang. Ningxi looked out through the peephole and immediately felt like a cat whose tail had been stepped on. All the hair on her body stood up. Fuck. Sister Gigi. Why is she here at this time? Ah. What to do? What to do? The doorbell kept ringing. Ningxi pushed Lu Tingxiao around anxiously and finally pushed him into the bathroom. However, she was still worried, so she pulled open the bathroom curtain and asked him to hide in the bathtub. Ningxi looked at the Demon King who was forced to stay in the narrow bathtub with his long arms and legs. Ningxi kissed him on the lips and rubbed his handsome face. I'm sorry. I'll have to trouble you for a bit, but you'll be fine soon." Chapter 739. The devil's face was still very dark. Ningxi made up her mind. She straddled him and kissed the corner of his lips. "Darling, don't you find it exciting to be in a relationship as if you're having an affair?" Lu Tingxiao's eyes darkened. He pressed her head down and kissed her fiercely. This girl. Was she too confident in his self-control? Ningxi was flustered by the ringing of the bell outside the door. She stroked the man's hair and comforted him patiently. All right. I'll expose myself if we continue." No. You can't bite me here." The man panted slightly and resisted the urge to leave a mark on her body. I'm coming. Ningxi said softly in Lu Tingxiao's ear. "Be good. I'll help you when I come back." Lu Tingxiao's face stiffened. Ningxi's eyes were like a clear lake reflecting the bright moon. She looked at him quietly. "I didn't finish what I wanted to say just now. Mr. Boss, you're different. You're special." After saying that, she ran to the living room to open the door for Lin Jiji, ignoring the storm that was set off in Lu Tingxiao's heart because of her words. "Ah, Sister Gigi, why are you here so late?" "Sorry, I was in the bathroom just now." "Come in." Ningxi opened the door and invited Lin Jiji in. She looked around the room, trying not to leave any traces of a man behind as she poured Lin Jiji a drink. Lin Jiji took the glass. She didn't look too good. "Don't bother. Have a seat. I came here suddenly, because I have something to tell you." Ningxi glanced at Lin Jiji's troubled expression. "Is it bad news?" "Sort of." Lin Jiji nodded and said hesitantly. "Didn't you like a script?" "Yes. It's called I Only Like You, and it's a cross-dressing one." "What's wrong? Is there something wrong?" Ningxi asked anxiously. "The auditions for this drama will be held in a few days, and the director promised you a chance to audition. But just now, I received news that Liang Biqin has been appointed as the female lead." "What?" Ningxi frowned. "Are you sure?" Lin Jiji nodded. "Yes, when I called them, they said that they had already signed the contract. Otherwise, I would definitely help you fight for it." "That's fast." Ningxi was very disappointed. It was like saving money for a long time to buy a toy that he had been looking forward to for a long time, but when he finally had enough change, the toy was bought by someone else for $100. Meanwhile, in a private room of a bar in the imperial capital, the atmosphere was joyous and harmonious. "Thank you. Director Zhang and Producer Qian. Please take care of Biqin. Thank you, Director. Thank you, Producer Qian, and thank you, cousin. I will work hard. Liang Biqin was excited. Not at all. Miss Liang is very powerful. This is a strong alliance. Exactly. What's more, Goddess Su has roped in so many big names for us. When the time comes, our movie will definitely have the strongest cast in history. It'll definitely be a hit. No matter what, we're the ones making the most profit. Liang Biqin eagerly poured wine for the directors as she asked, I heard that Lin Jiji has also contacted you guys? It seems that she is also interested in the role? Yes, she told me more than half a month ago that she was very interested in our play, so I agreed to let Ningxi audition. In fact, I just said it casually. Ningxi's appearance is not suitable for the leading actress of our play. Chapter 740. The actresses next to her immediately chimed in. She's so shameless. She came over just because of the powerful cast and the huge investment. She should take a look at herself first. Does she think she can take on any show just because she's pretty? That's right. She's so vulgar. How shocking would it be if she dressed up as a man? She's only suitable to play a vixen. The director held Liang Biqin's hand and caressed it meaningfully. He smiled and said, I like Biqin the most. Su Yimo was rumored to be the woman of that man at Lu Corporation, so he naturally didn't dare to touch her. However, he could play with this little cousin of his if they were willing. Since Liang Biqin had access to the director's information, she was naturally happy to build a relationship with such a great director. She chuckled and said, Thank you, director, for your kindness. Su Yimo watched the two of them flirt with each other, and was completely optimistic. If Liang Biqin could build a relationship with a director like Director Zhang, it would be very helpful for her in the future. She was now putting in so much effort to promote Liang Biqin because Liang Biqin's acting style was different from hers. There would be no conflict of resources, and she just happened to be in need of a strong direct follower and helper. Moreover, in the future, she could completely rest assured that she would be able to handle these kinds of things that required entertainment and company. In the condominium. At the moment, this drama has already received an investment of 60 million yuan. An idol drama with an investment of 60 million yuan is almost unheard of in the industry. The production crew has also invited countless big names in the industry. Even the minor actors are A-listers. This means that so many people are here just to play the supporting role of the female lead. With such a cast, the competition will naturally be very fierce. Acting skills and suitability alone won't be enough to land the role. With your current qualifications, you are indeed a little inexperienced. Sister Gigi, I understand. Although Ningxi was unwilling, she had to admit that she was a newcomer who had only played a supporting role. It was indeed too difficult for her to play the female lead in her second show, especially with such a strong cast and a 60 million yuan investment. Modern dramas were different from period dramas. For modern urban dramas, an investment of 60 million yuan was already very frightening. Liang Biqin's recent movies and a popular TV series had been very well received, and she was playing the female lead in both of them. She was already an A-lister, not to mention she had Su Yimo's support, so it was completely reasonable for the director to choose her. Ningxi and Lin Jiji talked about this matter for a long time, and finally came to the conclusion that even the contract had been signed. The matter was a foregone conclusion, and there was no turning back. As they chatted, Ningxi discovered an extremely serious matter. Oh, no. She seemed to have forgotten something. She had forgotten about the great demon king. Oh, my stomach hurts. Big sis Gigi, I need to go to the bathroom. Wait for me. Ningxi ran towards the bathroom and picked up some snacks, mineral water and books when Lin Jiji was not paying attention. After entering the bathroom, Ningxi immediately pulled open the curtain of the bathroom with a schwa sound. All she saw was Lu Tingxiao sitting in the bathtub with his knees bent. When he saw her, his cold face revealed an almost resentful expression, as though he was a beautiful king who was imprisoned by this evil witch. Oh, my heart was beating fast. Ningxi tossed all the food and drinks in her arms into the bathtub, then lifted her feet and stepped into the bathtub. With a fawning expression, she snuggled into the Demon King's arms. I was wrong, I'll be done talking soon. You eat something and read a book. Wait for me for a while, okay? Chapter 741. Lu Tingxiao asked, how long? Ningxi thought for a moment. 5 minutes. Soon, very soon. Afraid that Lin Jiji would get impatient, she quickly got up to leave. But because the bathtub was too slippery, she lost her footing and fell back into Lu Tingxiao's arms. The next second, Ningxi felt something hard poke her butt. She immediately turned her head and groped as she complained. Ouch! Lu Tingxiao, what's so hard on your body? Lu Tingxiao let out a muffled groan from being pressed down by her. Then he pressed down on her little hand that was touching him and said through gritted teeth, what do you think? Ningxi's heart skipped a beat. She immediately realized what was going on. With a bitter face, she glanced cautiously at a certain part of his body that was trembling with energy. It couldn't have been like this since just now, right? Lu Tingxiao's gaze was like a volcano at the end of the world. He stared at her with a piercing gaze. The answer was obvious. You're different. You're special. I'll help you when I come back. It was obvious that this wretch hadn't realized what her casual words meant to him. Let's put it this way. The effect of these words on him was equivalent to a powerful aphrodisiac, okay? So it was not hard to imagine how much he had been burning up in flames while she had been talking to Lin Jiji outside. Ningxi looked like she was committing a sin. She quickly escaped from the bathtub before the Demon King flew into a rage. As she ran out, she whispered, be good, be good. Wait for me. She said these 3 words while looking at little Xiao, who was 3 inches below Lu Tingxiao's navel, after returning to the living room. Ningxi had already thought things through. She said to Lin Jiji, Sister Jiji, it's okay. I didn't think it through. I wanted to fight for it because I liked the script so much. Of course, I was prepared for it. Since things have already turned out this way, I'll just choose another script. It's no big deal. That was how the entertainment industry was. How could everything be smooth sailing? Ningxi quickly regained her spirits. Seeing that she was in a good mood, Lin Jiji was relieved. You don't have to rush. You have just finished the tiring publicity period. Take a good rest these few days. Before receiving the new show, I will arrange some newcomer shows and interviews for you. Here is the relevant information. See which ones you are interested in. Alright, thank you, big sister Jiji. After saying goodbye, he was about to see Lin Jiji off. Lin Jiji stood up and suddenly said, Ningxi, can I borrow the bathroom? Ningxi was shocked. No. What's wrong? Lin Jiji didn't understand. Ningxi's brain worked quickly and she hurriedly said, I just found that the toilet is blocked. Then I'll go to the public washroom downstairs. Alright. Finally, Lin Jiji was safely sent away. Ningxi was about to collapse. As expected, there was a price to pay for breaking a promise. She's really going all out just to date. However, this was not the end. There was still the great Demon King waiting to be fed. I'm back. Ningxi hurriedly skipped into the bathroom and pulled open the bathroom curtain. Boss, come out quickly. Sister Jiji has already left. With that said, he scratched his head and muttered, or do you want to do it right here? Lu Tingxiao's answer was to reach out his long arm, grab her waist and bring her into the bathtub. He pulled her into his arms and said in an unusually low and husky voice, Here. Chapter 742. Okay. Ningxi had been talking nicely just now, but when it came to the end, she felt a little nervous and didn't know where to put her hands. Well, Boss, can you wait for me a little longer? Lu Tingxiao. Ningxi looked at Lu Tingxiao's eyes that were almost spitting fire and coughed lightly. I just want to find some materials to learn how to operate it. Ouch! How shameful. She had just said that she was going to help him, but now she was backing out before she even started. But now her mind was really blank, and she needed to recharge. The next second, there was a click sound, which seemed to be the sound of a belt being unbuckled. That sound was like an ambiguous catalyst in the quiet and narrow space, instantly igniting the air. How could Lu Tingxiao allow her to leave at this time? He directly grabbed her hand and pressed it against the part of his body that was about to explode. The sweat on his forehead, which had been suppressed for too long, fell on the girl's fair and delicate fingers with a plop sound. It was like hot oil, as if it could burn people's skin. The man's voice was unusually hoarse. You don't have to look for it. I'll teach you like this. When her palm touched a man for the first time without any obstruction, Ningxi felt that her palm was about to catch fire. In the end, she didn't have the confidence to help him anymore. Her whole body was stiff as a stone, and it was completely the devil who had grabbed her hand. After a long time, Lu Tingxiao held a hot towel in his hand and carefully wiped the girl's little hand. Are you okay? Ningxi looked bitter. It's sore. I feel that my hand is going to be crippled. How sad. Her leg was already crippled. And now her hand was going to be crippled too, alas. Who asked her to be so reckless as to say that she wanted to help? It turned out that she had underestimated the devil's ability. She was too naive. She suddenly didn't dare to imagine how miserable she would be on the day of the real battle. Sorry. Lu Tingxiao kissed her hair. At this moment, the man's expressionless face had a kind of languid look like a wild beast that had just eaten. His indifference and alienation were also tainted with the scent of desire. He looked 10,000 times more seductive than usual, and Ningxi was stunned. Damn. The devil's beauty was really out of this world. He could even evolve and level up. He felt that it was worth it even if he had to break his hand to win the beauty's heart. Sure enough, dying under a peony flower and becoming a ghost would still be romantic. Afraid that the bathtub would be cold, Lu Tingxiao carried Ningxi to the bed and lay beside her, gently hugging her and talking to her. What does Lin Jiji want from you? At the mention of this, Ningxi's expression immediately became gloomy. It's nothing. It's bad news for me but good news for you. Do you still remember the script that I really liked and it took me a lot of effort to convince you to let me act in it? I remember. That's the one. It's blown. Didn't you always say you didn't want me to do that? Lu Tingxiao nodded. MHM. It was indeed good news. There were too many dangerous scenes in that film. Although a stunt double could be used for many scenes, Ningxi would definitely do it herself. Ningxi glanced at the man grumpily. Sigh, she felt that the great demon king must really have magic powers. She still clearly remembered what Lu Tingxiao had said to her at that time. It's just me now. If you fail the audition, I won't open the back door for you. Do you understand? Now it was even worse. She didn't even have the audition and she had already lost the chance. Chapter 743. Looking at her disappointed face, Lu Tingxiao ruffled her hair and looked at her. Fortune and misfortune come hand in hand. There will be a better one. Ningxi thought he was just trying to comfort her. She heaved a long sigh, still immersed in the regret of missing out on the drama that she had been longing for. Actually, even if she was given a chance to audition, with her leg injury, it would be a tragedy if she had to audition for an action scene. Perhaps it really wasn't meant to be. Fortune and misfortune come hand in hand. She hoped the devil would bless her. Seeing that she was in a bad mood, Lu Tingxiao said softly, I'll take you out to play tomorrow. Ningxi's eyes lit up. Really? What are we going to play? Horse riding, skiing, parachuting, flying in the sky, or racing? Lu Tingxiao glanced at her quietly. Enjoy the scenery. Ningxi. Enjoy the scenery, enjoy the scenery. Ningxi suddenly felt hopeless. Okay. As long as I can be with Mr. Boss, I'll be happy even if it's just watching TV. Ningxi immediately tried to please him. Otherwise, she might not even have a chance to enjoy the scenery in the future. Good girl, rest early. I'll pick you up tomorrow morning. Okay, good night. On the way back. Lu Tingxiao was driving when his phone rang. Lu Tingxiao looked at the name, Mo Lingtian, on the screen. He put on his Bluetooth headset and answered the call. Hello. An excited voice came from the other end of the line. Lu Tingxiao, we're having a bachelor party with all our friends. Are you coming tomorrow? Lu Tingxiao answered without hesitation. No. Xiao is back in China. It's a welcome party for her. Don't tell me you won't give her face? Mo Lingtian was speechless. Lu Tingxiao said another day. The next week was a critical period for him. He couldn't afford to waste time on unnecessary things. Mo Lingtian was unwilling to give up and continued to persuade him. There will be a lot of pretty girls this time. There will be a lot of girls like she too. There will be girls prettier than her. You don't have to hang on to one tree, do you? If you can't get her, find another one. You don't have to take things too hard. Lu Tingxiao said no. Mo Lingtian was furious. Damn it. You're really not coming? I already told them that you would come over. What are you doing cooped up at home all day long? Not to mention that you have to go to work. There's nothing going on in your company recently. After Mo Lingtian finished shouting, Lu Tingxiao calmly said, I don't fit your theme. What do you mean? What's not in line with the theme? Mo Lingtian asked in confusion. Lu Tingxiao, I'm not single. Mo Lingtian. After a few seconds of silence, an earth-shattering roar came from the other end of the phone. Fuck me. Lu Tingxiao, you actually hid it from me and got yourself a girlfriend just like that. Do you still have any humanity? You traitor. Mo Lingtian's tone was filled with hatred, as though he wanted to burn him to death. It had only been a few months since he heard that he had a girl he liked. At that time, he felt that the world was a fantasy. However, he never expected that this was not the most shocking thing. At this moment, Lu Tingxiao actually told him that he actually had a girlfriend. Lu Tingxiao, who had been a bachelor for 10,000 years, was no longer single. He could no longer understand this world. Mo Lingtian said angrily, No. You have to come. Why don't you bring her along? You can introduce her to everyone. Anyway, I can't be the only one who gets hurt. Obviously, the last sentence was the main point. Lu Tingxiao. I'm not free tomorrow. Mo Lingtian. Don't be perfunctory. If you're not free, what are you going to do? Lu Tingxiao. Go on a date. Mo Lingtian. Chapter 744. The next morning, Lu Tingxiao went to pick Ningxi up. When he saw the girl standing at the door, his expressionless face suddenly cracked a few cracks. Ningxi usually dressed more casually. She would even put on a male outfit for convenience. In the end, she actually wore a fluffy pink dress with a thick white down jacket on the outside. The big hat of the down jacket was inlaid with very warm fluff. Her originally lazy and slightly curly long hair was straightened with a little inner button. She wore the pink crystal hairpin that Xiaobao had given her previously, and a pair of snow boots with rabbit ears on her feet. In short, he was like an extremely obedient little white rabbit. Because this outfit was so different from her personality, Lu Tingxiao could not help but find it hard to describe. Ningxi hopped over and held Lu Tingxiao's arm. Lu Tingxiao, am I cute? Isn't it cute and adorable? Lu Tingxiao coughed lightly and looked at the girl's cherry blossom-like lips. You're cute. Why did you think of how to wear it? Because this is our first official date, of course, we have to dress up more formally. Lu Tingxiao was speechless. It was indeed very formal. After they went downstairs, Cheng Feng got down from the car and opened the door for them. When he saw the little bunny beside Lu Tingxiao, Cheng Feng almost vomited blood. What the heck? Did the lady boss eat the wrong medicine today? This outfit was simply too adorable. Cute, girly and coquettish. It was not like her personality at all. Those who did not know would definitely be killed by her cuteness, but those who knew her would definitely be shocked half to death. Cheng Feng, who obviously belonged to the latter, wiped his sweat and calmed himself down before driving the car to the Lu family's private helipad. Ningxi looked at the helicopter in front of her. We still have to take a plane? Where are we going? We'll be there soon. Lu Tingxiao held her and carefully got into the helicopter. Indeed, in less than 20 minutes, the helicopter landed on an empty field. They had just landed when a sightseeing car came to pick them up. The sightseeing car was very comfortable and luxurious. The scenery along the way was also very good, making one feel much better. Not only that, along the way, Ningxi also saw nearby golf courses, a horse ranch, a hot spring, a shooting range, and even a ski resort. Roar! So many of them were things she loved to play with. He was almost drooling. When Lu Tingxiao saw that her head was about to reach out of the window, He reached over and pressed her onto his shoulder. Ningxi tugged on his sleeve and looked at him tearfully. Big boss, it's so fun here. There's so much fun. Are we really just going to look at the scenery? Lu Tingxiao replied. Lu Tingxiao, did you hear that? Lu Tingxiao asked. What? Ningxi replied. The sound of a heart breaking. Lu Tingxiao. Lu Tingxiao sighed softly when he saw the girl droop her head like a frosted eggplant. He told the driver, "Go to the race course." Ningxi was speechless. Ride, 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 ride. She also liked to ride horses. After she got off the sightseeing bus, Ningxi looked at the stable not too far away, and her wolf blood boiled with excitement. She wanted to choose the wildest one. Not far away, there was already a group of men and women with extraordinary status in the stable. They were choosing horses under the hospitality of the owner. At this moment, a handsome man suddenly stared in their direction as if he had seen a ghost. Damn. Lu Tingxiao. Chapter 745. Lu Tingxiao didn't know what to say when he saw the man and the group of people opposite him. He didn't expect Mo Lingtian's bachelor party to be held here. What? Mo Lingtian, who did you say? Lu Tingxiao? Where is he? Didn't he say he wouldn't come today? Ah. It seems to be Lu Tingxiao. With Mo Lingtian's earth-shattering roar, all the men and women looked towards the direction of Ningxi and Lu Tingxiao. Then, sure enough, they saw Lu Tingxiao in a black suit standing there coldly. Beside him was a soft and cute girl in a fluffy pink dress. What the hell is that? What's going on? They actually saw a cute girl who looked like a little white rabbit holding Lu Tingxiao's arm intimately. They looked at each other and were all dumbfounded. Suddenly being stared at by so many people, Ningxi was also quite confused. She blinked her eyes and rubbed herself against the great demon king's chest. Lu Tingxiao stroked the girl's hair and comforted her. Mo Lingtian's mouth twitched. He glanced at his friends and said quietly, "Didn't you ask me why Lu Tingxiao didn't come today? Well, you see, this is the reason. This bastard has betrayed the organization and has a girlfriend." Damn. Mo Lingtian, what did you say? Lu Tingxiao has a girlfriend? How is that possible? Are you sure it's not Lu Tingxiao's sister? What sister? I don't remember my cousin having such a sister. At this time, a girl hurriedly walked up to Lu Tingxiao and looked warily at Ningxi beside Lu Tingxiao. "Cousin, who is this?" "Your future sister-in-law," Lu Tingxiao said calmly, and then looked down at Ningxi. "She's my cousin Lu Xinyan." "Hello," Ningxi greeted her briefly. She didn't seem to be very friendly to her, so she didn't need to be too enthusiastic. Lu Xinyan was completely stunned. My future sister-in-law? Cousin, is she really your girlfriend? Why would his cousin find such a soft and weak little bunny as his girlfriend? She couldn't imagine that Lu Tingxiao, with his taste, would actually like this type of woman. At this moment, a woman walked over from behind Lu Xinyan. The woman was wearing a handsome black riding outfit with a whip around her waist and riding boots on her feet. She was even leading a particularly vigorous black horse in her hand. She looked valiant and formidable. She stood in front of Lu Tingxiao and Ningxi, glanced at Ningxi, and then looked at Lu Tingxiao. "Tingxiao, long time no see." Ningxi looked at the woman in front of her and narrowed her eyes. Her sixth sense as a woman suddenly emerged. Ah, there was something wrong with this woman. Lu Tingxiao's expression didn't change in the slightest, and his tone was also calm. "Welcome back." The woman looked at Ningxi, who was next to him, with an oppressive gaze. "Aren't you going to introduce us?" "My girlfriend, Ningxi." Lu Tingxiao said and introduced her to Ningxi. Guanziyao. There was only a name and no special introduction. Ningxi blinked her eyes innocently, looked at Guanziyao and greeted her. "Hello." Anyway, she hid in Lu Tingxiao's arms and didn't say anything. She had changed her makeup, and even her personality was extremely professional, like a little white rabbit. Looking at the girl's obedient appearance, even though he knew it was just a facade, Lu Tingxiao's heart still softened and his eyes were extremely gentle. Chapter 746. After getting an affirmative answer from Lu Tingxiao, basically everyone on the stage was already dumbfounded. She really was Lu Tingxiao's girlfriend. They had discussed countless times what kind of woman would be able to make him fall for this man who was as cold and emotionless as an ascetic monk who did not get close to women. Gentle and virtuous, or noble and elegant. Dignified and generous, or gentle like water. Or maybe she was a strong woman like Lu Tingxiao who dominated the business world. He had thought of countless possibilities, but he had never thought that the woman that Lu Tingxiao had taken a fancy to was actually a silly little white rabbit. Such a soft little thing was obediently sticking to the cold and arrogant Lu Tingxiao. Although it was incomparably strange, they clearly noticed that when this girl was by Lu Tingxiao's side, his usual cold temperament became much gentler. Especially when his gaze fell on the girl. It was not an exaggeration to say that his gaze had turned into spring water. It was the moment to witness a miracle. I've lived long enough to see it. I didn't expect to live long enough to see what the woman who won Lu Tingxiao's heart is like. This girl's type is really hard to describe. Isn't that right? I never expected Lu Tingxiao to like this type. I'm so angry. I thought Lu Tingxiao liked like-minded women, or at least mature and dignified ones. I had to pretend to be cold in front of him. In the end, he actually likes a weak little bunny. Sob sob sob. This doesn't make sense. What is Lu Tingxiao thinking? The two of them are not compatible at all, okay? This kind of woman only knows how to act cute and coquettish. She has no inner qualities. Sigh, what do you women know? This kind of woman can arouse a man's desire to protect her. No matter how cold Lu Tingxiao is, he's still an ordinary man. Bullshit. Lu Tingxiao is not an ordinary man. Amidst the women's cries and men's discussions, Mo Lingtian walked towards the two with a face as black as the bottom of a pot. Damn. Lu Tingxiao, didn't you say you weren't coming today? Lu Tingxiao replied, accident. The corner of Mo Lingtian's mouth twitched slightly. Who knew that the place of their bachelor party would collide with the place of Lu Tingxiao's date? It was really fate that they could not escape this abuse. Sigh, I used to think that no matter who betrayed me, you would never betray me. Lu Tingxiao, you really disappoint me too much. Mo Lingtian said hatefully. Ningxi was speechless. Wasn't he cursing Lu Tingxiao to be single for the rest of his life? However, the fact that Lu Tingxiao was the first to leave singlehood was probably quite shocking for this group of people. Since we happen to bump into each other, why don't we play together? Mo Lingtian invited. Guan Ziao also said. It's been a long time since we rode together. Shall we have a race? Yes, let's fight. Mo Lingtian said eagerly. Lu Tingxiao lowered his eyes and looked at the girl in his arms. You guys play. She doesn't dare to ride alone. Mo Lingtian's face was full of black lines. That's enough. Give a single dog a way out. Guan Ziyao's face froze slightly, and she looked coldly at Ningxi, who was ignorant of the world. Ningxi, on the other hand, was crying silently in her heart. She didn't dare to ride alone. The devil was obviously worried about her. He was afraid that she would be unrestrained and wanted to keep an eye on her. Chapter 747. After greeting them, Lu Tingxiao took Ningxi to choose a horse. When the owner of the horse farm saw that Lu Tingxiao had actually brought his girlfriend over, he was overwhelmed by the unexpected favor. He hurriedly led the two of them to the best horses in the farm. Mr. Lu, what do you think of this one? It's a purebred horse imported from the British Royal Horse Farm. The owner introduced enthusiastically. Wow. So handsome. Ningxi's eyes lit up as she stared at the black horse that was as black as ink. Purebred horses originated in the UK and dominated the world for their speed in short and medium distances. They were recognized as one of the best horse breeds in the world, and the one introduced by the boss was even better than the one in Guan Ziyao's hand. Seeing Lu Tingxiao looking around the stable without saying anything, the owner looked at Ningxi and asked, Miss Ning, do you like it? Ningxi nodded. I like it. Lu Tingxiao, I'll take this one. It would be great to run. She couldn't wait. Finally, Lu Tingxiao's eyes fixed on a brown horse in the corner of the stable. Bring that horse here. That one? Mr. Lu, are you sure? The owner looked hesitantly at the brown horse that was much shorter than the other horses. Soon, the owner brought the horse over. Lu Tingxiao touched the horse's head, and it rubbed against the back of his hand docilely. Lu Tingxiao nodded. This one. At the side, Ningxi was dumbfounded. Lu Tingxiao, isn't this an American pony? Lu Tingxiao glanced at her indifferently. What? Is there a problem? Ningxi was about to cry. Of course there was a problem. American ponies were for kids. Not far away, Emo Lingtian, who was racing with Guan Ziao, caught a glimpse of Lu Tingxiao's colt. He lost control and almost fell off the horse. Lu Tingxiao, what kind of horse did you choose? Oh, I can't take it anymore. I'm dying of laughter. In the end, Emo Lingtian even stopped the race. He held his stomach and laughed at them on the track. In front of them, Guan Ziao also turned around and rode her tall pureblood horse towards them. Looking at Emo Lingtian's ridicule, the big horses he and Guan Ziao were riding, and then looking at her own pony, Ningxi was so angry that she almost cried. What a bully! Lu Tingxiao's heart softened at the sight of the little girl's aggrieved expression. He pinched his brows, walked over, and carried her by the waist. Then he walked toward the handsome black British purebred horse. After sending Ningxi onto the horse, Lu Tingxiao followed her and held her in his arms. Are you satisfied? Finally, she got what she wanted. Ningxi pulled the reins and touched the horse's head. She was so happy that she immediately turned around and kissed Lu Tingxiao's face. Guan Ziyao's expression was extremely ugly as she looked at the two people on the horse. Emo Lingtian, on the other hand, looked as if he had been blinded. Damn. Even if you beat me to death, I would never have thought that there would be a day where Lu Tingxiao would coax a girl. Guan Ziyao looked indifferent. She doesn't deserve Lu Tingxiao. Emo Lingtian coughed slightly. That's true. But love is not a matter of whether she deserves him or not. Besides, although he had only seen this woman once or twice, it seemed that she was not as simple as a white rabbit. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.